The typical Black family has 1/10 the wealth that a typical white family has.
Were you shocked when you learned that statistic?
Shocked? No. I mean, I live here, right? And I see it. But it never, ever, ever stops me from being saddened by it and motivated by it, frankly.
Your personal story, Lule, is so compelling. You are Ethiopian, you were born there. You left at age 8, traveled around, lived different places, and came to America at 16. How did that color your experiences and your choice of career and your outlook on life and your passion for making financial literacy and financial opportunity something that was available to everyone?
What has informed my background is this. Having lived in so many places, I had the privilege of learning how to relate with lots of people. And I find that to be one of the biggest assets in this changing demographic world that we are growing into in the United States. I can relate with people from all sorts of backgrounds, be from Russia, Ukraine, South Africa, Japan, and that became a real asset to me because one of the things that I noticed in my career is that people are willing to connect and be open when they feel seen, no matter who they are.
Why are so many Black Americans in particular unbanked?
If I look at it just through the dimensions of all the horribly depressing statistics, what that will let us do is just freeze up and think this problem is not solvable. And so I try very hard, as I said, not to be surprised, but to keep motivated by that stat. And one of the ways that I think is really important is to think of it as what small bite, incremental bite can each of us take out of this? And so I look at it through this way. I am an individual. I cannot be a policy. I cannot be a company. And as an individual, I can choose to do micro acts in my life that can make a big difference if everybody else did the same thing.
There are some interesting psychological factors that are keeping people of color from taking advantage of financial opportunities.
So I think the root cause of what keeps exacerbating this gap is lack of access. Access to good education, access to the ability to have a fair shot at getting a job and the bias that comes with that. So when you think of it through that lens, you've got an access gap, but then think of it even further. Those who do get access then end up helping others of their communities, right? So you've got this multiplier effect of lack of access that's further exacerbated because you don't have somebody on the inside pulling you in.
How does Ally plan to take advantage of this opportunity and the necessity to even the playing field for people of color?
So there's several things we're doing internally. Internally, we have employee engagement groups and talks we do that really helps to make sure that it's a culture of acceptance in our firm, as well as the way we hire and being open to hiring people who look different from us. Outwardly, we do programs like sponsoring students, helping people buy homes. And so this inward and outward model, I think, would be revolutionary if every company did it.
Are you optimistic that things are going to change?
I think I am. And the reason I think is that we see what the dark side of it has been. So I think that this incremental leap is going to be bigger because there's a mental shift happening in most Americans' minds, which is that ultimately that it's not because people of color are undeserving or not trying, but there's something broken about this system. And that we as human beings can do something to leave it better than we found it.